thank you all for being here tonight and celebrating with us. We are ready to move forward with our program, so we need you to do two things. Grab your drinks, grab a snack, and find your seat. I guess that was three things. In about 3 or 4 minutes, we'll move forward with our programs.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Gina McFarland. I'm the president of the board of directors for GirlVentures, and it's my honor to welcome you to the GirlVentures 2017 Gala. Tonight, we're celebrating the power of girls' voices. I'm delighted that you could be here for this special event. Last year, we celebrated 20 amazing years of GirlVentures. Now, as we begin our work to empower the next generation of women leaders, I want to give thanks to all our sponsors. Those of you who have been with us from the beginning, and those of you who are joining us for the first time tonight. So speaking of the beginning, I'd like to first recognize the founders of GirlVentures, whose vision of a better world and recognition of women's inherent strength have led us here tonight. We're honored to have them join us this evening. Elizabeth McLeod and Megan Armstrong, thank you so much and welcome. To all the individuals and companies who have sponsored and donated, to our Gala organizing committee, to the GirlVentures board of directors, to the GirlVentures staff, to the Ambassador Circle members, the course participants and their families, our volunteers, and all partners, thank you for making this event possible and for making GirlVentures programs possible for all girls. So now it's my pleasure to introduce you to GirlVentures' new executive director, Emily Teitsworth. Emily has over a decade of experience leading and scaling programs for girls and women. She is a passionate advocate for the environment and social justice. Emily joined us this May, and we are so grateful to have her at the helm of GirlVentures. So please welcome Emily.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Gina, for your warm welcome and for your leadership of the GirlVentures Board of Directors. I'd like to add my own welcome this evening to all of you. I am so thrilled to be here with you all tonight and to be a part of GirlVentures' strong and growing community of supporters. I sincerely appreciate the work of GirlVentures founders, our staff, our course instructors, the Gala organizing committee, the GirlVentures Board of Directors, the Ambassadors Circle, our volunteers, and our partners in making today and every day at GirlVentures possible. You've dedicated yourselves to this shared work that enables girls to discover and express their strengths, and for that, I am truly grateful. Thank you to our donors and sponsors, and each one of you here tonight. Without you, this organization would simply not exist, and we would not be gathered in this amazing, beautiful space together to celebrate this amazing organization. You are all making life-changing experiences with GirlVentures possible for all girls, regardless of their background or family income. Your support here and every day allows us to provide scholarships to over 2/3 of our participants, to discount all of our programs, and to provide free food, gear, and transportation to all participants. An extra special thanks this year to PMI, it's our first ever corporate summit sponsor. And last, but certainly not least, thank you to our participants and our families. You are the reason we are here, celebrating your courage, your voice, and your power. Tonight, we will hear directly from alumni and members of our community about the transformational impacts of GirlVentures in their own words. Over the past 12 years, I've been lucky enough to work with girls around the world, from Guatemala to Nigeria, and from New Orleans to the Bay Area. One of my most profound lessons in this work has been that girls are already powerful. They are already leaders. They don't, exactly, right on. They don't need us to speak on their behalf or to tell them what's best. When we empower them to lead and to speak for themselves, we are supporting a movement that is improving the world every day. GirlVentures is an organization that puts girls at the center and in the lead, and for that and so many other reasons, I'm glad to call GirlVentures home. As we launch the next 20 years of GirlVentures' story, our work to empower a new generation of leaders and environmental advocates begins in earnest. You have the power to change thousands of girls' lives over the years to come, empowering them to rise and succeed in school and beyond. Your leadership and support tonight and every day opens a world of opportunities for girls, and I encourage you to stay involved. Board service, volunteering, and our ambassadors circle are vital ways to sustain our work and to support our mission. And tonight only, the impact of any contribution you choose to make will be doubled by a generous matching grant from the Quest Foundation. Before we hear more about GirlVentures' transformative programs from our community, I'd like to introduce you to our guest of honor and the creator of the delicious menu that we've all been enjoying this evening, Chef Melissa King. Chef Melissa is one of the most exciting young talents on the U.S. culinary scene. After training with some of the best chefs in the Bay Area, she earned national recognition on Bravo's television series Top Chef. So you may recognize her. She is the first chef ambassador to Whole Foods Market. She was selected as Celebrity Grand Marshal for San Francisco Pride 2016 for her advocacy on behalf of the LGBTQ community. And she's a passionate advocate for girls' empowerment and environmental sustainability. Welcome, Chef Melissa.
Hi, everyone. I first want to start off by thanking GirlVentures for having me here today. They're just such an incredible organization that is really helping to support young women and, bring strength and confidence to them. And so I'm honored to be here today to cook the food for this evening. And I did want to tell you a little bit about the inspiration behind the menu. I know GirlVentures is all about going into the outdoors and bringing these young women on these amazing adventures around Northern California. And so I really tried to take those ingredients around this area and highlight them into a really seasonal, fresh menu tonight throughout the hors d'oeuvres. So you'll see ingredients from, Point Reyes. We have like cowgirl cream cheese all over the menu tonight. We also have Bellwether ricotta cheese from Sonoma. And then I decided, I'm going to throw some crab in there because we're from San Francisco and everybody loves crab. So we have crab cakes with black garlic aioli and a little piece of chervil on top. But yeah, again, the menu is just very seasonal and fresh and really inspired by the places that GirlVentures often explores. And again, I just want to say thank you for having me, and I hope you enjoy the food this evening. And feel free to come over and say hello and chat. Don't be shy. And have a great night tonight. Thank you.
My name is Cori Coccia. I'm the program director at GirlVentures. Thank you. Every year, GirlVentures supports hundreds of female-identified youth like the girls in this film in stepping out of their comfort zone and into their truth as more fully embodied, confident, and capable young women. I've been returning to this program for 14 years because I have found something here that I haven't found anywhere else. As a young adult in my early 20s, I, like many people, was grappling with how to find balance and purpose with all of the intersecting aspects of my identity. As a queer-identified youth from a working-class family who grew up in a conservative, wealthy area, I did not see a future possibility for myself reflected in the world around me. Add in excessive bullying and threats to my physical safety, and a recipe for low self-worth was created. When I found GirlVentures, I had already discovered that nature was a place where I felt more safe than I did in society. But what I also found with this organization was the community that had been missing. GirlVentures provides a space where the natural world and the activities we pursue in it become key facilitators in the development of an inclusive society that actively celebrates all of its members. 15 years ago, when my mentor, Priscilla McKinney, started the Leadership Development Program at GirlVentures, she had a vision to change the face of outdoor education for our students to someday become our staff. She recognized, as we continue to recognize today, that women, particularly women of color, non-gender conforming individuals, and women of lower income backgrounds are not fairly or equally represented in outdoor education, in media, and in many other professional fields. GirlVentures now has nearly a dozen alumni who instruct our programs, along with dozens more who have taken leadership positions in the fields of science, math, medicine, law, education, and business. When you make a donation to this organization tonight, you become part of a community that is invested in the health and success of women and girls from all backgrounds. At GirlVentures, we define community as a space where everyone is seen and heard. Our job, not just mine and the program team, but the job of all of us, is to witness and to listen to young people. Their strength is obvious and their wisdom is innate when we take the time to listen. And on that note, I'd like to introduce our first student speaker, Jasmine Tostado.
Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine and I live in East Palo Alto. I'm 12 years old and I'm in 8th grade. I've done 2 courses with GirlVentures and I want to tell you the story of how this year on my most recent course, Project Courage, we had to backpack for 8 miles. Before we started, I was really nervous about not being able to finish the hike carrying a heavy backpack. During Heartbreak Hill, I felt like giving up. My hips and thighs were hurting and the sun was hot on my face. Finally, I made it to the top. When we finished Heartbreak Hill, the path was flat and there was finally shade. But by then, I was so numb and just over it. I just walked and walked without complaining. I realized there was no point. I couldn't complain and try to go back because we were halfway done. I couldn't complain about stopping because where could we camp? I just kept going, and finally it was over. Surprisingly, at the end of the hike, I felt amazing and so happy to get to eat a Snickers bar. I learned to have stamina and not to give up no matter how hard something gets. GirlVentures has taught me new skills that I use in my everyday life. On course, I've not only learned how to have stamina, but also how to be bold, not bossy, and how to work out challenges with other people. Thanks for listening to my story and supporting girls like me. I'll be back on course next year.
Good evening. My name is Maria Pasos-Nuñez. I'm Mariana Nuñez's mom. She will speak later after me. A huge GirlVentures fan, and I'm delighted to be here today to share Mariana and my story about GirlVentures. As most of you have heard, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, in our village, there is a huge GirlVentures tent, brightly lit up, that we're so happy to welcome into our village. Mariana has found GirlVentures to be her safe and happy place where she not only develops, but becomes owner of her strengths. And she does this amongst people that she trusts and respects. I grew up in Nicaragua, where girls are raised in very traditional ways. For summer camp choices, I had one choice, and that was a secretarial typing class. As a senior executive in the tech industry today, I would have definitely traded my typing camp for rock climbing. As you know, the professional world is very competitive. And to succeed in the professional world, you need to be able to conquer the fear of heights and conquer the fear of the unknown. Most importantly, it requires you to develop relationship skills and to have the self-confidence to be able to own your truth, influence people, and create change. This can be very challenging, especially if you're a woman surrounded by men in position of power. For that reason, there's a high developmental value in high-intensity outdoor and leadership training, especially for adolescent girls, as they are forming their adult identities. Mariana's search for identity was intense. We, as a Hispanic family, adopted Mariana when she was 11 months old from Russia. We're immensely proud of her. She is kind, intelligent, and very talented. But when she entered puberty, she seemed lost and unsure of herself and her potential. Perhaps it was because of her early beginnings, or because of her learning differences, or just the unfortunate reality of what happens to a lot of girls at that stage in their lives. But it was painful to watch. And it was even more painful to see how my words of encouragement and my example made no difference. I was just mom, clearly clueless about how the world worked and how to help her navigate it. This is where GirlVentures came to our rescue. More specifically, Cori, Coccia, came to our rescue. Cori definitely knows how the world works. She knows how to survive in the high Sierras and how to teach girls to find potable water and even how to dispose of little crumbs along the way in the backcountry. While the girls don't even realize it on course, they're learning not only survival skills, but they're also learning important life lessons from formal training that Cori and her and the rest of GirlVentures staff imparts, but also just from the example of being a woman that lives a healthy and happy life. We discovered GirlVentures through Mariana's counselor at Stern School, where Mariana went to middle school. She was going into 8th grade, and from then on, she never let go of GirlVentures. GirlVentures altered who Mariana is today and how she sees herself. Prior to GirlVentures, Mariana had spent 8 years pursuing dancing, acting, and singing through the San Francisco Girls Chorus, various dance schools, and also musical theater troupe. But it was only after the first GirlVentures trip, Project Courage, that she finally saw herself as being good enough to go for a leading role. No more hanging back in the background, no more trying to become invisible. She went for it, all out, to the point where my son, frankly, couldn't take it anymore. She was singing and dancing so much. But Richard and I, my husband, were thrilled with this transformation. She didn't get the role, but that didn't matter. She persevered and became dance captain that year for the musical. Soon after that, she auditioned and got into the San Francisco School of the Arts musical theater program, where only 1 in 10 kids who audition get in. This was a tremendous feat for somebody who wouldn't raise her hand just a year before that. Most recently, she transferred to a new boarding school with a strong musical theater program, a completely foreign environment to her, where she only knew one person, a friend from GirlVentures. She's thriving there. And again, we're immensely proud of how she made that happen for herself. We owe much of her newfound tenacity and self-knowledge and courage to how she has internalized her experience with GirlVentures. GirlVentures is not just an outdoors program. It's a transformative developmental program that has changed my daughter's path and the dynamics of our family as a whole. And for that, we are eternally grateful. I'd like to thank everybody here and beyond that makes this program possible. And with that, I'd like to introduce to you to my daughter, Mariana.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here tonight. I owe so much to GirlVentures, and I was delighted to be invited to speak and share my story. My name is Mariana Nuñez. I'm 15 years old, and I have gone on 4 courses with GirlVentures. My first course, Project Courage, was in the summer of 2015. We backpacked and kayaked all over Point Reyes. My second trip was in the summer of 2016, Transitions, where we backpacked, canyoneered, and rock climbed for 2 weeks in the Sierra National Forest. In the spring of this year, a small group of GirlVentures girls, instructors, and I had the honor to represent GirlVentures for Athleta's Power of She campaign at Joshua Tree National Park. GirlVentures was chosen over 40 nonprofits for its empowerment of women and girls. Finally, this summer, I went on the Rise, my most intense and life-changing trip. On all of my courses, I've pushed my limits, grown a lot, and met so many amazing girls very different from myself, as well as so many amazing instructors who I have so much love for. GirlVentures is the main reason why I'm now more confident at school, in the arts, and in everyday life. My passion is musical theater. I've been singing and dancing since I was 4 years old, but when it came to auditioning for roles, I would hang back. I encouraged my friends to go for lead roles, but I wouldn't raise my own hand. Despite having a lot of training, I didn't have the confidence. GirlVentures gave me the voice and confidence that I need to compete for lead roles. Thanks to that, in my freshman year at San Francisco School of the Arts, I was cast in the school's main stage musical theater production, Into the Woods. This year, I was again cast in Little Women, my new school's fall musical. No principal roles yet, but fortunately, GirlVentures has also taught me a lot about perseverance. One day, I will get my lead role, and I'll feel very proud about the long road I've traveled to realize my goals. The things you learn through GirlVentures become part of you. The physical and emotional experience that you have on course stay with you. I refer back to my experiences on course when I face a challenge. It helps me reset and persevere. I'm also developing as a leader. As dance captain for the San Francisco Art Education Players, I had to memorize every character's choreography and help teach. Cori, Coccia, the program director at GirlVentures, has taught me a lot about leadership. I first met Cori when she led my first course, Project Courage. Cori makes learning seamless because she has a very calm energy and she is easy to trust. She has taught me that trust building is the first step in being able to lead a group. She has also helped me develop the confidence to take risks and try things I've never tried before. The biggest leap of faith I've ever made was 4 weeks ago when I transferred to a boarding school I knew very little about. I've adjusted really well to living away from home, and I'm learning so much. When I'm feeling anxious, I channel my inner Cori. I find that being outdoors helps me stay calm and gives me a better view of who I am and what I value. That's another wonderful gift that GirlVentures has given me. The goal of GirlVentures is to help girls learn to live healthy, relate wisely, and lead confidently. They sure live up to that. Next year, I hope to become an assistant instructor for GirlVentures. I can't wait to give back to other girls the gift that I've received. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.